Hello everybody, I'm Brodsky with Windy City Legal, and in this video I'm going to address the question of whether it is sufficient to rely on a will as the core of your estate plan. Before I get to that, if you have estate planning questions or needs or need to have a consultation on something related to estate planning, feel free to go to windycityestateplan.com where you can select a time for us to talk either in person or by phone. Again, that's windycityestateplan.com. Now, is it sufficient to have just a will? And the answer is it depends on your particular situation. If you have a more straightforward situation, then it very well may be sufficient to have a will and healthcare documents in place if that is going to fully address your needs and goals. You should still make sure that the will in fact address everything you want it to, but in certain situations it may be enough. But in a lot of cases, life is more complex, and sometimes there are situations where you may need additional estate planning documents in place to cover specific goals and objectives. For example, let's consider the situation of Alan and Betty. Alan and Betty are married and have a couple of children. And after a period of time, Alan and Betty get divorced. Alan may want to have more than just a will in place to make sure that his children are going to be taken care of if Alan gets remarried and predeceases his future spouse. Another situation where it could be good to have additional estate planning documents in place is illustrated by Darcy and Edward. Let's say Darcy and Edward are a couple that are getting advanced in age and Edward is very frail. It may be useful to have some planning in place prior to Darcy's passing so that if Edward survives her, then his care will be taken place, for example, through a trust, and he will not have to worry about any issues as far as care or continuity or delays or costs related to dealing with Darcy's estate. And then on a happier note, in a lot of cases, people are accumulating a lot of assets, and additional planning will streamline any distributions, avoid probate, etc. For example, if there is real estate in the picture, having a trust or other documentation in place can streamline the transfer to heirs or beneficiaries. And if there are minor children in the picture, estate planning documents such as a trust may be useful in transferring assets to them in the event of a grantor passing away. And finally, if there is a significant accumulation of wealth, in some cases estate planning documents can be useful in administering those assets and in some cases avoiding costs, tax liabilities, etc. So these are a handful of situations where having a will may not be enough, and it may be useful to have additional estate planning documentation in place. Again, if you would like to make an appointment to discuss estate planning in person or by phone, visit windycityestateplan.com and select the time to do so. I'm Brodsky with Windy City Legal, and I will catch you next time.